to solve this equation that has a bunch of fractions, we want to multiply both sides by something that's going to cancel all these denominators out. Now, starting with just the variable, at most, a denominator has the variable u. So we're going to use u as one of the things we multiply by because u will cancel u. But when it comes to the numbers 12 and 8, you want to think of a number that both 12 and 8 fit into. And if we want to think of the smallest number they fit into, but it's not a big deal if you don't think of the smallest one. So worst case scenario, you would just multiply 12 times 8. So if I go 12 times 8 and use 96u, both 12 and 8 fit into 96. Now if you did this same problem and you use 24 instead and go with 24u, that will be even better. But I'm going to go with a little bit bigger number just to show you it doesn't really matter as long as you think of a number they all fit into. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 96u. When I multiply both sides by 96u, on the left side, I'm going to need to distribute. Now when I distribute and I take the 96u times this first fraction, let's just do a little bit of scratch work here. I put the 96u next to the u minus 1 over 12u, and when simplifying that, the u cancels this u, and then 96 over 12, that shouldn't be too hard considering to get to 96, we multiply 12 by 8. So 96 and 12 cancel to get 8, and all I have left is 8 multiplied by u minus 1. So I have 8 times u minus 1. Now when I multiply 96u times negative 5/8, again, just a little bit of scratch work, the 96 and the 8, those are going to cancel, and 8 fits into 96 12 times, so the 8's gone and the 96 becomes 12. There was a negative or a minus there, so this is negative 12 times u times 5. So negative 12 times 5 is negative 60, and then I have u, so I have negative 60u. Bring down the equal sign, and then over here, just a little scratch work, when you're multiplying these together, the u's cancel, and I have 1 times 96, and I get 96. Now the scratch work, as you get better at it, is going to go on inside your head, and you're not writing that down. You're just thinking those u's cancel. 96 divided by 12 is 8, so I have 8 times u minus 1. When I'm multiplying 96u times negative 5/8, the 8 and the 96 cancel to give me 12. 12 times u times negative 5 is negative 60u. All right, now it looks like a regular equation. Let's go ahead and distribute the 8 through. So 8 multiplied by u is 8u. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. Bring down the minus 60u and the equals 96. 8u and negative 60u are on the same side of the equal sign, so we can combine those to make negative 52u. Bring down the negative 8 and the equals 96. Okay, then we're going to move numbers to one side. So add over 8 to the other side, and I have negative 52u is equal to 104 after I've added 8. Divide both sides by negative 52. And so u is going to equal negative 2. Now, one of the things that we have to really be careful of is if your original equation has a variable in the denominator, we should always check to see if the answer we get leads us to dividing by 0. And if you substitute negative 2 back into the original, this denominator is 12 times negative 2, which is not 0. And putting negative 2 here, that's 1 divided by negative 2, again, not 0, so we're okay, and that's our final answer. Okay, let's do just one more. Looking at these denominators 5u and u, The common denominator there is 5u. This one needs a 5, and then that denominator would be over 1, so 5u. So let's multiply both sides by 5u. And when I multiply both sides by 5u, the left side, I need to distribute that. Most of you can go ahead and distribute without the scratch work, but just in case, putting the 5u times the first fraction, those 5u's cancel and I'm left with 3. And when I have 5u times the second fraction there, the u's cancel and 5 times 4 is 20. Bring down the equal sign. And then 1 multiplied by 5u, 1 times 5 times u is 5u. All right, 3 and 20 make 23. Divide both sides by 5, and I end up with 23 over 5.